Welcome back to another weekly portfolio recap. Markets delivered a massive surge over this past 8-day trading window, driven by a powerful mix of macroeconomic momentum, cooling inflation signals, and tech sector strength. Federal Reserve policy commentary continues to point towards stabilizing price pressures and prospective interest rate cuts on the horizon, giving growth assets significant momentum across the board. Tech earnings momentum and heavy institutional accumulation pushed major indices sharply higher, creating a broad risk-on environment that lifted growth equities, index funds, and yield-focused ETFs alike. Market sentiment shifted aggressively back into bullish territory as investors digested cooling labor market data alongside accelerating enterprise demand for artificial intelligence and cloud computing infrastructure. Benchmark Treasury yields held relatively stable, which gave our core growth holdings and covered call income funds plenty of runway to push toward new highs. Over this 8-day tracking period, our portfolio capitalized directly on this market rally, capturing substantial capital appreciation alongside a massive wave of cash dividend distributions hitting our balance. Let's break down the exact numbers, examine our 8 portfolio slices, and review every single dividend payout that landed in our account this week. Looking at our portfolio performance from July 31st through August 8th, our total portfolio balance reached $274,867.80. That represents an 8-day market price gain of $31,547.17, or a 13.21% money-weighted return on price appreciation alone, supported by a $1,000 net cash deposit. Breaking down our 8 slices, Palantir was the undisputed standout major mover, soaring 39.78% for a price gain of $25,168.26, pushing its individual slice value to $88,441.13. NVIDIA also surged aggressively, jumping 11.56% to add $1,952.84, bringing its value to $18,843.52. Microsoft gained 7.59%, adding $413.05 to reach $5,855.48. Our tech ETF, Invesco QQQ, advanced 5.09%, up $277.17 to total $5,719.07. Vanguard S&P 500 ETF gained 3.50%, adding $128.54 to sit at $3,797.03. Dividend and ETF1 rose 2.98%, up $2,195.77 to $76,480.43. ETF and Dividend added 2.60%, gaining $1,799.03 to reach $70,832.63. Finally, Apple moved up 1.43%, gaining $69.10 to close at $4,898.51. In addition to capital appreciation, we logged a remarkable week for passive cash flow, receiving 17 individual dividend payments across our 5 market trading days. Reading in strict chronological order from earliest to latest, on August 3rd, Bristol-Myers Squibb paid $8.71, followed by 2 payments from Verizon Communications of $9.20 and $2.82. On August 4th, Defiance S&P 500 Target Income ETF paid $33.12. On August 5th, Tap Alpha S&P 500 Covered Call ETF paid $38.03 and $16.07. JP Morgan Nasdaq Equity Premium Income ETF paid $7.75 and $73.31. JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF paid $9.17 and $12.62. On August 6th, iShares Broad USD High Yield Bond ETF paid $5.77, and iShares U.S. Large Cap Option Income ETF paid $30.17. On August 7th, Costco Wholesale paid $1.27. Round Hill Innovation 100-DTE Option ETF paid $11.74. Goldman Sachs NASDAQ Option Income ETF paid $46.37. Goldman Sachs S&P 500 Option Income ETF paid $37.54. Defiance NASDAQ 100 Enhanced Option Income ETF paid $4.83 and $5.46, and Yield Max Magnificent 7 Fund of Option ETFs paid $7.65 and $16.99. In total, these 17 payments yielded $356.41 in dividends this week. Adding our market gain of $31,547.17 to our $356.41 in dividends gives us a total weekly gain of $31,903.58. Taking a step back to examine our lifetime portfolio performance since launching on July 24, 2020, long-term compounding continues to deliver incredible results. From a $0 starting balance, we have deposited net cash flows of $148,681.59. Our total lifetime gain now stands at an impressive $153,124.84, representing a money-weighted return of 315.28%. Out of that total gain, market appreciation accounts for $126,186.21, while cumulative lifetime dividends earned have reached $26,938.63. Looking at our current 2026 dividend tracker metrics, our projected total annual income is $15,547.66. Breaking this down into exact timeframe averages, our portfolio generates $15,547.66 per year, which works out to an average monthly income of $1,295.64. On a weekly scale, that equals $298.99 per week. Breaking it down further, our passive cash flow generates $42.60 per day, or $1.77 per hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. M1 also projects $5,574.78 in remaining estimated income for the rest of 2026. Finally, our portfolio's lifetime return of 394.51% significantly outperforms our benchmarks, VOO at 162.71%, QQQ at 193.26%, and VGT at 258.06%. Looking ahead to next week and the coming month, several critical macroeconomic catalysts and market events are scheduled that could dictate market direction for the remainder of the quarter. Investors will be laser-focused on upcoming inflation prints, specifically the Consumer Price Index and Producer Price Index releases. Any surprising inflation data could quickly alter market expectations regarding the Fed's monetary policy trajectory and future rate cuts. Furthermore, retail sales figures and economic activity reports will give us a fresh look at consumer spending health and economic growth stability. On the corporate side, earnings season continues to unfold, with several major enterprise tech companies and retail powerhouses scheduled to report earnings results. Price volatility across our top growth holdings, particularly tech leaders like Palantir and NVIDIA, could remain elevated as Wall Street evaluates corporate guidance and enterprise AI infrastructure spending. Covered call income funds will also continue adjusting their distribution yields based on market volatility indices. We will monitor these macroeconomic events closely and rebalance portfolio allocations strategically as market opportunities develop. That wraps up this week's portfolio recap. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a weekly update. If you want to check out my exact portfolio structure or copy the pie, the link is right below in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next recap.